Hi everyone! Today we're going to talk about feminine energy and money, and Isabella is going to join us, and I'm so excited. I know it's going to be so good. So I have my own journal here and my pen so I can write down everything we're going to talk about. Yes, I am generally the whole week I was so excited for this call because I knew she has like so much knowledge and wisdom, and she's such a great personality, and I have my experience and my knowledge, and if we come together I knew that we're gonna have like aha moments and you're like, oh yeah, now I understand that. So yes, I am so excited. Let's wait until she's coming in. There she is. Hello.
Hello!
Ah,
Can you hear me?
now I can hear you. I had my microphone, and that's why I couldn't hear you because
Okay.
like this. But now I hear you.
Like,
Hi.
hi, how are
Good.
you?
I was so excited, like literally the whole week for this call
Yeah,
because I was
me
like,
too.
because I know you have knowledge and I know that you know your information, and I have my experience and I have knowledge, and I was like, if we're gonna come together and gonna talk about it, it's gonna be so exciting. So yeah, I was so happy. How about you?
I was also thinking about how, like, both of us are pretty, I don't know, famous for laughing all the time into the camera. So I think we're going to laugh a lot.
Yes.
hmm
I love your stories. Seriously, always when I watch them, I don't know if I have told you before, but you radiate such a I know what I talk about and I have some boundaries, but I don't have to physically tell you them, but I know they're there. This kind of vibe, but also a really loving vibe. So I really love the combination of I know what I say and I have boundaries and I know my worth, but also I'm really loving, really open, and really kind. And I think that's so cool. Yeah. Wow. Are you seeing me? No. Huh? Are you guys seeing me? Can you write down in the comments if you see me? Oh, okay, Isabella's gone. I was like, no, I didn't say all of this, and then she didn't hear it. Hi, Lena, by the way. I'm so happy that you're here. I love your, I think your profile picture. You have like a green juice, and you're glowing so much. And I was like, I want to glow like that too. It looks so good. You see you, she's left. Oh no, come back. Ah!
Oh, but I still heard what you said.
Okay, good. I
Yeah.
was like, no.
No, I still heard what you said. I was like the connection or the video just like broke down and was, oh, you were a guest at Naomi's live video. Thank you for attending. I was like, oh, how could it stop?
No.
Oh my God.
I think it's so good if Milton is, or somebody who only speaks English is in the chat, because it's so much easier if you know that the other person can't speak like another language that you're like common in, because otherwise it's weird if you both know you speak could be speaking German, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in.
Crazy.
Yes.
Cool. So let's see if it works.
Are you guys hearing me? I think Isabella needs a Wi-Fi upgrade. Pull your spirit on, pull your spirit experience for film.
Actually, I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi or if it's like my Instagram. It always like kicks me out.
Not
Wait,
anymore. Now it's gonna stay.
it's gonna stay. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my phone in my hand now, so maybe it just wants close attention.
Yes.
Yes, good. So, would you like to start how you came around this topic and how you found your way to this topic of money and the feminine?
Yes. Mm, so I felt like I was doing so much, but I didn't see the results that I wanted. And I was like, doing more is not working. Like, I am doing a lot. I am doing so much, and I'm so exhausted, and I haven't achieved like anything I wanted. And then I was like, maybe I should like, I don't know, something isn't working because I was so exhausted. And then I came more into the topic of feminine energy and also more into money, like money energetics, like your beliefs about money and your emotions about money. And I was so fearful around money, like, wow. I didn't even know that I have so much fear. And then I started to release it, and then I saw like physical changes, like things were easier for me, and talking about money was easier. I was so cringe talking about money, like I couldn't. It's also maybe like a lot of German mentality, but like it was so weird. Like I would go to business conferences, but I can't speak about money, and it was so. And I was like, wow. Yeah. And then yeah, actually it was starting out like this. And then I realized like I was working on my money stuff, and I realized money is only a reflection of all other problems I had. And money wasn't the problem, like not at all. And like I was working on my money stuff, and my relationships became better, my boundaries became better, my speaking up became better, and my feminine energy became better. I was like, yeah, doing more is not working, and it's not what's like. I don't need another strategy. I need some inner upgrade. I really, because I don't know. I think business strategies are good and they work, but if you are super fearful around money and super blocked, every business strategy you have doesn't work. I don't know if you've guys experience where you have done like strategy after strategy and you try something else and you're so frustrated because nothing works. You know, feeling?
Yeah, I totally feel that. Like, what I noticed within the last weeks and months is that it's not about the quantity of action you take, but it's about the quality of action you take. And what I like to like rephrase in my head all the time is taking inspired action. Like you focus your energy on one thing you want to do and you want to like achieve, or even just taking one step into the right direction, and you know this step is going to take you into the right direction, and you don't focus on all the other things you could do, and there's usually so much stuff you could do, and then I personally I end up doing nothing because I'm like, I should do this and now this, no, I should do this, and I'm like, okay, no, I'm just going to bed. And usually when I'm going to bed or lay on the couch or just on the yoga mat on the floor, it comes to me, and it's like in the relaxed state I know what the next step should be or what the next best step could be. And also it's that's my experience around the most direct experience around the feminine and money is oftentimes when I like go and have a nap and I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna have a decadent afternoon. Usually, when I look at my phone afterwards, I'm having more money on my bank account than before.
That's interesting. Why do you think that is like that? Because
Mm.
a lot of times, especially women, they feel guilty if they're resting.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's the society we live in, where masculine traits are more valued than feminine traits, and oftentimes we don't even know what feminine traits are. And it's not bad that masculine traits, they build this society, they build our wealth, our safety, also the luxury. It all comes from like the masculine energy, but if we can't balance it, it will outrun itself, and it will be burnout and depletion of our resources, and like our own resources and the resources of the planet. So it's all the same actually. And if we rest, like if we take this feminine aspect of not doing but being, and taking space and time to just be sometimes, it feels like if you're in a pool, or you're standing in the ocean, and you always push the water away from you. You put energy into the system, you're working for things, but if you don't rest, you can't feel the wave coming back to you. So you have to like push it away, you have to give energy into the system, and then you have to like be still and see how it comes back, whether it comes back, which way it comes back. And of course, it's not always linear. That's also a masculine view again. But it's sometimes it's really obvious, and sometimes you notice over time how that works. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
That's so good. I have to think about it. There's a lot of good things I could think about. So what do you think happens if we do and do and do more, but we don't rest? Why don't we make more money even though we work so much? What do you think?
I think it's about the question of quality and quantity again. Like you can do a lot, but you're still in this, how do you say that? Hamsterrad in German. I don't know. You can.
Rabbit wheel?
You're running a kind of real, you are doing a lot, you are really exhausted, and you're really you're putting a lot of energy into it, but you could still be doing the wrong things, and you feel busy, you feel as if you are doing the right things.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
rat race. But I
Yeah.
like rabbit wheel. Rabbit wheel. The air. You're still in the air.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's also like a part of manifestation, and what occurred to me within the last weeks is taking or making a decision and say, this is what I want, and I'm going to go for it. And I'm claiming this, and I claim to stay open even if it doesn't work. Can you stay open, and can you claim it again? That's what I told myself, even, or especially if it's not working right away. I'm like, okay, no. In the moments where I want to close, I'm like, oh, it's not working, it won't come. It's like creating a false sense of security inside yourself to feel secure in the outcome. Like, okay, the outcome is like the no, it won't be coming true. But because we don't want to feel the insecurity, the unsafety of, okay, it could work, but it could also not work. So we close off to the possibility that it might work. But if we stay open, it kind of hurts. It hurts emotionally, sometimes even physically, if you feel emotions in your body as well.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, there's a long
Yeah.
there.
Can you describe the difference between rest and unrest? Because I think just stopping to do something or falling asleep, like stop. stone doesn't necessarily make you truly rest. I have something to say to that.
Oh yes,
So,
please.
I made a YouTube live stream about that, where I talk about resting, and I realized even though I did nothing, I wasn't resting. Like just sitting at the couch wasn't resting for me because I had so much guilt and like fear around resting. And what helped me was not just say I'm gonna go to bed earlier, I'm gonna take 2 hours of resting today, but I worked through every belief. What do I believe about resting? I wrote down things like, I feel guilty when I rest. I am scared that people think I'm lazy when I'm resting. I think I'm worthless when I'm doing nothing. And I wrote all of these things down, and I released the emotion that was in my body, and afterwards I could rest. And now I'm more rested when I talk to you or when I'm working than I was when I did nothing and I was just laying on the couch and trying to rest.
Oh, that's so crazy. Oh, that's so interesting. Like also to sit with it, you know, not to avoid the conflict you're in. I think that's an important piece here. Like in terms of money, in terms of rest, in terms of pleasure, in terms of like everything, not to say, okay, I want to rest, but to say what is like keeping me from resting, what resistances come up in my body, in my mind, in my thoughts, in when I think about resting or when I try to rest. And that's I think Thaddeus said this once, it's not what you do, it's what you think while you are doing it. And the way many interpret this is that you have to focus your thoughts on what it is you want to achieve in this moment when you're doing something. Like if you're working out, you need to have a special mindset. So it's important to know what you think. But I think the other side is more important before that. Like when I want to go, when I want to take a bath, I want to rest while taking a bath. So then it's not about just resting. It's about I'm taking this bath to let any resistance come up against having this bath and against resting. Yeah.
Have you ever experienced, or like everyone who's listening, you can write it in the comments. Have you ever experienced where you took a bath, but you were so tense while taking a bath?
Yeah.
It's like I wanted to relax it, but to put in the water and take off your clothes, put in new clothes was more stressing than the bath was relaxing, and I'm more stressed afterwards than I did before I took a bath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, what I noticed for me is I need for real rest. I mean, sometimes it's like taking a nap. So then when I know I need to take a nap now, and then it can be like 20, 30 minutes, or it could be an hour. It can be like really yeah, resting and nourishing. But also sometimes I need another kind of rest, like maybe my mind needs some kind of rest and not my body. And I want to avoid that. Or if I go to the water close to here and I get myself like a coffee and a nice sweet treat, something, and I sit there in the sun, it's like it's so resting, like I'm doing something, but at the same time it's nourishing, it's pleasure. So I like to mix rest with pleasure, and pleasure not just like in a sexual way, but that pleasure is a way of living life, actually, to not just what an insight that came to me like a couple of days ago is that without sexual energy your life is just surviving, because the way your body works, you cannot afford sexual energy if you're in survival mode. And if you're stressed out, you're in survival mode, so you can't like really enjoy life. You know, sexual energy is not just for, I don't know, having sex. It's mostly for enjoying life on your own or with others, but enjoying life, you know?
Now we're getting to the good topics. So
Now we're having fun.
I actually didn't write it in. Actually, I didn't write it in the headline. We wanted to talk about sexual energy and money. This was actually the main topic. But now we're getting to it. So What do you think is the connection? Oh, this is so good. I just have like such a big aha moment. Okay, so what do you think is the connection between sexual energy and money?
Mm-hmm. I think there's not only one connection. It's like if you look at money and you look at relationships. For example, if you want to name your price, or if we compare, like you are in a sales call, you're in a closing call, and you want to like name your price and you want to like stand, yeah, for your price, you know? And also when dating, you have a certain standard that you want to keep up. So in both scenarios, your price can be too low or too high. So you can have set your price too low, both in relationships and in money. And then you sell yourself under worth and you're like hurting yourself, and that it shows you your limiting beliefs. But at the same time, you can also like set your price too high, and then it's some kind of self-sabotage. Like if your product is too pricey for what your branding is like, or what people know you for, nobody will buy it. And also if your standards are too high in terms of like dating, you won't find any man that can fit these standards, because you don't want any man to fit those standards, because then there would be consequences to deal with, you know? So either way, you can be afraid of the consequences that come in when you when like something happens, when you reach your goal in this scenario, or if the price is too high because you don't match the worth yet. You know, there are different looks to look at that, views to look at that. But this is how I would compare it, like in one scenario, in terms of relationships and money. Yeah.
This is so good. You said so many good things. I had to laugh because Stefan was writing, money is sexy and makes sexy.
Yeah, he's my
And
father.
I was like, you were talking, I was like laughing. I was like, this is not appropriate to laugh right now. I had to. Yes, it's so good. I have to think about it. Do you think sometimes, because what you were saying is sometimes we want something, but we subconsciously don't want it, and then in between we're taking action and sabotaging to get actually what we want.
Ooh, yes, I think that's the most important thing we are going to talk about today.
Yes.
Yes. Because that's what I opened in a loop like a couple of minutes ago, where it was about, have you decided what you want, and have you decided this is what I want, and that you're going to go for it despite all the consequences, or if like, let me start differently. If you want to claim something, you have to put like all your energy, like creating a focus on that, what you want to claim, what you want to create. But you also, if you claim something, you have to claim, or you have to say yes to everything that will happen on this way, on this path, to what you are claiming. So you have to, like, this is the most important piece in my manifestation game, like within, since December, actually, like crazy stuff has happened, like within very short amount of times, when I wanted something and I said live, this is what I want, and I'm claiming it, and I know there can be consequences like this or that, and I'm okay with it. I'm going to live with these consequences, and I'm going to deal with these consequences, even if they're like negative or challenging consequences when they arise. And then everything like happens so fast, like in the last weeks and months. So this is the most important thing to know, to identify that part of yourself that doesn't want what you want, is
This
to
is
look
good.
at the consequences that will be there if you get like what you want. And you also have to look at what you will lose in your current situation if you step up and you go like the next step. You know what I mean?
Let me repeat what she said for everyone,
Yeah.
because it was so good. You said, look at the part who doesn't want to get what you actually want. Look at the part who doesn't want to get what you want. Because I realize if I don't have something in my life, it's not because I can't get it, but because a part of me doesn't want it, doesn't feel safe with it. And now I'm so relaxed because I know I don't have to work more in order to get it. I need to release the part of me that is scared to have it. And this is so relaxing because, I don't have it because of me, not because it's not possible. And it's like,
exactly.
Okay, I can relax because I'm the problem.
And that I think that's also like the feminine way, if we're coming back to the feminine, to not like do more, but to find the specific point or the block, which blocks the river, to flow to you or like away from you. And it's also not just about releasing a part that has fear, but I think it's more about embracing it and to say, okay, I see you now, because I think the part that is afraid of what you actually want is the part that doesn't want it. So you have to get that part into your system, back to you, to it's like if you have a rope or something, and one part of you draws in that direction and the other part draws in that direction. So nothing will happen. It will be really exhausting. But when both go in one direction, and they both like draw in one direction, like the part of you that is afraid of it, the part of you that wants it, the part of you that is afraid of the consequences, the part of you that is afraid to lose something you have in your current situation, you get all of them like in one boat with you, like back to yourself, and you can just go in one direction then.
I love that. That is so good. Yeah. I really have experienced that in so many situations for me. And one thing was, I really wanted hugs, for example, but a part of me didn't feel safe with it because it wasn't like, or like saying I love you. Saying I love you is a good example. So in my family, like the German part of my family that I grew up with, like most of the time, we never said I love you. Like never.
Oh my God.
Nobody ever said it. Like, I don't know. Like I never heard it. So I really wanted to like feel loved and wanted to hear say I love you. But if somebody said it to me, it felt so weird that I rather not wanted to like hear it, even though I really desired it. For me, the same. It was so hard for me to say I love you to people because, I didn't like practice it. And when I started to release like the fears around it and the fear about like this closeness and this love, then I could receive a lot of I love yous, and I choose subconsciously people who could give me that. And before I choose subconsciously people who couldn't give me that, because then I was like I wasn't comfortable receiving it, so I'd rather choose people who can't give it to me either.
Yeah.
Because I feel good around them, even though I really wanted to hear I love you.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good one. Like when you feel uncomfortable, when you get what you want, sometimes because your system is not safe or doesn't feel safe in it, because it's just new. Like everything that's new is a threat to like our human biology or evolutionary part of us. It's everything that is new and unknown is a threat, So if you want something and you don't know it, because you didn't grow up with it or whatever, like one part of you feels like we're going to have to fight for our survival now because it's something unknown. I don't know. Do you know the movie The Croods?
No.
But that's such a good movie because it's about like people in, how do you say, Höhlenmenschen. Höhlenmenschen. Like people that lived a long time ago, and they always just lived in their cave, and they were afraid of everything, and they said, no, that's new, you can't go there, and that's new, no, you can't go there. And that's how our system works. Like if there's something, caveman, thank you, Lena. caveman it is. They lived in a cave and they were afraid of like everything outside of this cave and everything they didn't know. And that's actually how our system works. If we don't know it, it's just a threat.
Now we're starting good topics. So what do you think, because we talked about like when we like wrote each other Let's Go Live about the topic, we talked about holding specific amounts of money in your nervous system. I think you wrote something like that. Do you want to like tell us more about it?
I think it's actually the point where we already got to is like, what are the consequences, or not even better, what does it mean about me? What does it mean about me? Well, what does it say about me when I have like only, I don't know, 2 or 3,000 euros, dollars a month? Or what does it mean about me if I don't know, if I cross the street or if I walk the street in Gucci? You know, like what are your associations with it, in terms of what kind of woman has that amount of money or the other amount of money?
What do you think are personality traits someone has to release in order to be able to feel safe with more amounts of money in their life?
I actually don't think there are any personality traits to like release. I know for it's just a language game if you say release or integrate or get back to yourself, but I think it's a new identity. And what like it gets back to this, what does it mean about me? It means there's a specific identity connected to whatever it is you want. And if that identity or others, that identity, to get to that identity, to be that identity, you have like to kill your other identity that you are now. So you have to like lose the specific mix of things, traits, thoughts, patterns you are now to become something new. So it could feel like a little death. And that's also a feminine thing, like birth and rebirth and death. It happens in our cycle like all the time, you know? Yeah. And that's actually what it means. Like if you want to make like really big moves, like I'm gonna be making moves, not just like tiny little steps, but like really like moves. You have to lose the identity, the structure of who I am now, in order to become the next one. So it doesn't mean, in my way, it doesn't mean to like lose anything of yourself. You're losing the specific mix you are right now, but you become more of what you can be. So there's like just another picture of you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this doll, this Russian doll, but only the other way around. You know, at first you are this tiny little thing, and then you shape like, or you shift your identity and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think it's what happens that you unlock more parts of yourself. So maybe the parts you wanted to like lose or release, you still have them, and because they served you a purpose. Like if you are anxious around something or overprotective of others or yourself, it was there to protect you, so you can appreciate that part of yourself and keep it, but it doesn't control you anymore because there are more parts. Like if you go like hiking or something, I don't know, if you go to war alone, like you wouldn't feel good. You would have anxiety, you would have a panic attack. But if you go to a fight and you are like thousands of people, and I think inside of us there are thousands of versions of ourselves and parts of ourselves, then you feel much more secure. So this new identity that can hold more money or whatever it is that you want, it doesn't have to be money. It can be every materialistic thing, like in your apartment, like a social, I don't know, status or whatever it is. It requires us to move to a new identity that can hold more, but that is actually more. Like you unlock more parts of you. You don't have to release them, you have to get them back to you. And also like the both like the opposites, you know, you think, okay, no, I'm not allowed to be scared, but you know you have a scared part of yourself, but you also have a very brave part of yourself, and you're getting them both back to you. You're getting more so you can be more and hold more. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a monologue.
Let me repeat.
Yes, please.
So, it's actually a good thing that I have to think about how I would say it in my words. So, we integrate more into us, into the person I am, into my character, into who I am. And because I integrated more and I got back, like, I how do I say it? But like, I got it back, or I received it, then I am more to hold, because I have a bigger personality or a stronger character that is able to hold that. That's so good. And because I while I was asking this question, I was thinking about people pleasing and traits of people pleasing, and how this is actually blocking your sexual energy and your finances. And like, yeah, what do you want to say something about that? Also, like people pleasing and sexual energy, and then connected to money.
If you want, you can just make the connection, and then I say what I think about people pleasing. Yeah.
Because I realized that when you're people pleasing, you're scared that you're getting hurt, rejected, whatever, when you don't do what the other people want you to do. So you act out of this fear mode, and you do a lot of things for other people. And when you do constantly a lot of things for other people, without having good boundaries, you can also do a lot of work for free, or just give away a lot of resources, a lot of your time, a lot of your energy, a lot of your thoughts, a lot of your creative energy for free. And then obviously it affects your finances. The other thing is, when you're people pleasing, you know, like when people have a lot of light energy but zero dark energy, and it's cute, but also everybody can walk like above their boundaries, but they don't have boundaries.
Yeah.
Like you can just walk all over them. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I get your point. Like people pleasing it's like suppressing or not. How do you say? Not worshipping. Appreciating your needs, not recognizing your needs, and shutting down your needs and your worth for others in order, for them to feel good. And it's also the way I see it is that if you look at the other side, if you stop people pleasing, it means you open a space of growth for the other person, that you don't try to please anymore. So it's like, if you have an example, I'm at home and I want to do my morning routine, but my mom is in my room and I don't want to hurt her and say, no, please go out, I want to do my morning routine. Then I'm actually telling her that it's okay to suppress your needs in order for others to feel good. So what
I love that
teaching
mindset.
her? Yeah. So what am I teaching her by suppressing my needs? That she isn't allowed to like honor her needs because I'm not honoring my needs, and then she's like we are like in a shame and guilt spiral, because she's actually guilty of keeping me from doing what I want. And I'm also guilty because I just didn't do what I want and I didn't express my boundaries.
This is so good. I have to like repeat. because this releases all guilt we have about our needs. Because I can say it for myself, and I see this in a lot of women, like feeling guilty for having needs. And it's like, I don't want to ask for too much. Like, have you, like, please write in the comments if you've ever like was thinking that. I think men think that too, but I don't know. For me as a woman, and I hear women that more often, I feel so guilty. I don't want to ask for it. I think it's too much. Maybe I just ask for too much. Maybe, I don't know, I feel guilty if I get paid for it, or I feel weird about it. And I don't know. I always had this feeling. And what you said is, I'm basically freeing other people to ask for their needs as well.
Yes.
If I'm showing up as someone who asks for their needs. And this just clicked for me and like released more guilt maybe that I still had, because the way I show up is always telling other people, hey, you can show up the same way. Hey, this is a possibility. You didn't know, but it is possible. And that's why our energy alone as women is so valuable and so expensive, even though we don't have to do a lot. Our presence alone is nourishing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is so strong. And also what you said, like feeling guilty to ask for what you want. And that's actually the same thing with money and manifestation again, because what we need to do is to say, life or God or other person, this is what I want. And then if you are like, if you have all the parts of you in one boat and going into one direction, and you know, okay, I know that I have the capacity to be with the pains that will arise. And that is something really important, to be willing to go through the pain in order to get to pleasure, or to get to money, or to get to the new apartment, or to the relationship of your dreams, or whatever, is to be able to have the capacity to hold pain and to move pain, or you could say uncomfortable feelings, because pain is inevitable. And if you are like in a new situation, this is painful. If you need to like name your price, and you have all these parts of yourself that say like, oh no, I can't take this prize, it will be painful to name this prize and to stand for what you decided. So these kind of pains, I decided also, I chose also these pains that will arise, not because like I want pain, but because I know pain is inevitable in order to live life, to get what I want. And I choose to be able to be strong enough to be with all the pains that will arise, and that I have the capacity to hold myself in all the consequences, all that will happen. Like if we are talking about people pleasing, and I say, this is what I want, or this is what I don't want, please, I don't know, get out of my room, or please give me some pizza, whatever it is. So the other could always say like, no, you are, I don't know, you are selfish, or you're rude. And to choose to be with those pains when someone like says that, for example, is part of doing it.
We're also taking up more space this way, like physically and energetically, like taking up more space. This was just like, when we're able to take up more space, as well as also, I think about public speaking, because public speaking is like, you take up more space and you're able to hold the space. Same as for money. You take up more space when you have more money. So you better be comfortable taking up space.
Yeah. And also that's the same thing. Like if you still think, if I have a lot of money, then someone in this world will have less.
Yeah.
It's like the same as people pleasing and saying, no, I don't want you in my room. This is my room actually, and it's what I stand for. It's what I want.
Yeah. I had a really cool realization, like the past weeks or maybe month, that the valuable thing is not money, but the valuable valuable thing are we? Like, the people are the valuable thing. So that's why our parents have invested hundreds of thousands of years to feed us, to nourish us, to like protect us. It's because we're more valuable than any money they could ever have. That's why they put it into us. And if I think about how much money we have invested in our knowledge, in our like just nourishing us, in our fitness, whatever, we are the asset. It's not the money. And that's where if you know I am the asset, you can have zero, you can lose all your money, and you know it's coming out of you. You're the expensive thing. You're the valuable thing. You're the you have the creative ideas. The ideas are here. They're not on your bank account. So if you like take away all my money, I still have the personality and I still have the knowledge and the ability and the skill and the energy that is able to create things like that. And this was like such an aha moment because
and also that money is actually just a tool. You can use it for like what you want. You can invest it in yourself and in others. You can help people with it. You can help yourself with it. And I think what's important is that what I see in many, especially women, that they say, I only want money to give it to others. And I think that's actually not a good thing, because you have to like get your ego into your boat and back to yourself as well. You can say no, I don't have an ego. I never act out of an ego or something. You have to get it back to yourself and to say, yes, I have an ego, and yes, I'm allowed to want money for myself first. You know?
Ooh, this is good. Like wanting money for myself and also spending money on myself. I had a huge problem with that. I was so like, I could not. I actually it was like a problem with like, no, but I mean, unsolved whatever, with pleasure. It was so hard for me to spend money on pleasurable things because I was like, this also comes from like a survival mode state before, and then I switched. It's like, I don't really need a facial. Should I really spend on a facial or on a massage? I don't know. When I spent money like the first time on a massage for myself, I felt so guilty. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know I have this much guilt around it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also like what we talked about earlier. Not to go into the bath or into the massage just to enjoy, but to see, okay, what will I see? What parts of myself will I see when I'm doing this? And it's actually like doing things that are like just pleasurable can show you more sometimes about yourself than, I don't know, working out or doing something very sensible. And yeah.
Yes. 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 But we're on a good topic. Let's talk about pleasure, and let's talk about the connection between pleasure and money. Because I realized I listened to like some YouTubers who were saying, like American YouTubers, yeah, when you focus on more pleasure and more fun, then you attract more money. And I was like, but I have to work for it, and I didn't understand it in the beginning. And then I practiced focusing more on pleasure and more on fun, and I realized, oh yeah, it makes sense. So, what is your experience with that?
My experience around that is actually that it takes a step, and like sometimes like kicking your own ass to like force yourself to do self-care or pleasure or rest. So sometimes doing things that are like fun and pleasurable is much harder than doing things that are like work. And because especially in Germany, we know how to work, we know how to do things that are like really sensible and practical and good for work, you know. But if I look at the list, like if I look at my work list, it's like, yeah, this big, this is my work list. But then I look at the list of my fun and pleasure has like this part of the sheet, and then there's fun, and that's like so small. I was like, oh my gosh, my list can't be that short for fun. So um, what I think is that like pleasure is not, or fun is like not easy. I don't think it's easy. I think you have to work through a lot of resistances to pleasure and to fun to actually get there. So it's like living in devotion to pleasure doesn't mean you don't do the hard thing. And sometimes the hard thing is not to, I don't know, create a post on Instagram or doing a sales call, but the hard thing is to relax when you are in the bath, you know?
Yeah,
That's
I
the
swear.
really hard thing.
This was yeah, yeah, really. I remember when I took a bath, like maybe like 2 years ago, my nervous system was so in survival mode. I was like lying like this in this bath, and I was like, this is not relaxing. How do people post on Instagram? Like, I take a bath. I'm like, can't relate. But now I can. And I realized the more I focus on pleasure and the more I focus on fun, the more fun and pleasure I have while I do work.
Yeah.
While I don't know, like things where I did my reflection, I don't know, at the end of the day, took me like 30 minutes and I was super stressed. Takes me like, I don't know, 50 minutes. And now I'm like so relaxed. It's like, it's more relaxing than my bath like two years ago. Really. And the fun thing, I was like, when I focus more on having fun and I release, like, or I always say release, but you actually like you said it the good way. I integrated having more fun, and I was able to have more fun while I was doing work and see everything as a game. And money became fun because before money was like a survival tool, money was stressful. I don't know, but money was so stressful for me, like so stressful. And now it's fun. It's like a game. I see, oh, this didn't work the way I wanted. What do I believe that this is like my reality right now? And then I change what I feel, and then my reality changes. And it's then I see like, oh my god, this was so fun. And then I do it like with 10x the amount, and I'm like, it's not the amount. This is just a bigger number. It's about the feeling I had. And I'm like, oh, now I'm making moves, and I'm like, I would have been so scared to do this like 6 months ago. And yeah.
Also, what you said, to like bring fun and pleasure into your work and not like separate those two. Like that's also the topic around without sexual energy, it's just surviving, because sexual energy and pleasure gives you the possibility like to have fun, to enjoy life and to enjoy
Yeah.
work. So it's like my what I am trying to do, it doesn't like work all the time, but what I'm trying to do is to see my work as a turn on, and to work like turned on, but not like, it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be like sexually turned on. It's like more like you say turn on the light, right?
Yeah.
And it's just that within the human body and your feelings, it's like turning on the light and turning on the life inside of you, actually, to live like turned on. And to, if you really work, like when I have a very yeah, also stressful day where I'm working a lot and I'm pushing through my limits, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And it is pleasurable to feel this kind of stress. Then I know my hormones are in order, and I know I'm doing my work now with pleasure, actually, so I can work that much and still like not burn out.
Yes. Yes, because that's the difference between working with passion and working without passion. You can work more, but because of your energy level, it's a different kind of vibe and it doesn't burn you out. And we talked about in our class, like at university where I'm right now, we talked about something like passion, and it's like in German like Leidenschaft, like Leiden, suffering. Mm, I actually let me connect, but it was something like, you know, actually don't know what I want to say, but I wanted to say something with like passion, and it's like passion is here like in your body, and when you're like passionate, you want to do it. Yeah, that's what I want to say. So if you're passionate, you want to do it, and if you're like, I don't know, I have to do it, it's like such a different vibe. Like having to do it, I have to drag myself, and wanting to do it because I'm so passionate about it is like I get to do it and I have so much energy doing it. And I realized that I now look so much, or I don't even look, but I realize so fast how high the energy level of a person is. And then you're like, yeah, this is a match, or I cannot be friends with this person. And it naturally also doesn't happen because you're so different, like vibrational frequency. But it's, you just feel if somebody feels alive and it comes across, and it's like a magnetic energy, and you're like, I want to be around this person. Like it feels good to me and it's inspiring to me.
Yeah, and also what you said around having to do it is actually you working against yourself again. So you don't have that much energy because you lose so much energy in that fight against all the parts of you that don't want to do it. So that's also like a task again. If you have to do something and you really like have to do something, can you talk to these parts of yourself that are like, oh, I don't want to do this, and like convince them to help you in your task. You know, like
Yeah.
talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That's so good.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love money because money is like, it is such a fun topic. It is such a fun topic. Once you release the fear and the anxiety, it is just fun. And it becomes a game, and it becomes a fun game. And I don't know, I'm just so excited when I.
And also, if you don't put an identity or what it means around you anymore, like if you say, if I'm not making like 10K a month, who am I? What should people think about me? What kind of person doesn't make, I don't know, 10K a month?
Yeah.
So like releasing, or no, yeah, I don't like releasing, but
No, I
I said it.
let's call it integrating. I prefer that.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, like integrating parts of yourself so you don't like identify with an amount of money anymore, and you can always ask yourself, what kind of person is da 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 da, what kind of person does only have this amount of money in their bank account, what kind of person takes these kinds of prices, what kind of person goes through their work day in this way, what does it mean about them? So like you get to know all parts of yourself that like judge this in others and judge the same thing in you.
Oh, this is good. Ooh, this is good. This is really good. Like seeing where I judge people for their financial decisions.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Let me think about it. I have to think about it.
And also if you like
Yeah.
think about I only have only that's an important piece. If you say I only made, I don't know, $300 or whatever, you say only and you diminish like your own worth. If you say, oh my gosh, celebrating every dollar, like I made 300 euros this month, or you can say I made 300,000 this month, you could celebrate it in the same way. Can you celebrate the $1 the same way like you would 10,000?
This is so fun because I had an experience this week or last week where I was in a situation where I asked for an amount of money, and it was like €5. And it was such a low amount of money, but I was so happy about it because I knew I asked, even though I thought it was so unnecessary and it was so like it wasn't like, I was like, I don't know, it's just €5. But I asked because I wanted to practice asking for what I want, and I wanted $1,000. And in this moment where I did it, I was so literally excited. I wrote it down in my at the end of the day, like my goals, like what I achieved, I wrote it down, and I was so happy because I don't care if it's 5 years or 5,000. It's the fact that I ask,
Yeah.
and I can ask for 5 years the way I can ask for 5,000. And this is so cool. And also realizing it's not about the amount; it's about the habit. I learned this in the like Millionaire Mind. Have you ever heard about it? It was like a conference or like a seminar about financial literacy, but like in a work mostly. And they were saying it's not about the amount, it's about the habit. If you're donating, it's not about the amount, it's about the amount of it's a habit. If you're putting your money in your bank accounts, like your separate bank accounts, like a bank account for pleasure, a bank account for donations, a bank account for investing and education, it's not the amount. It's like if you start with 100 euros, you start with 100 euros. Then you get 1,000 euros, but it's the same exact process. I realized when I started with small numbers and they got bigger, I got more comfortable with bigger numbers because I knew I already have a system. If you start a system when you have a lot of money, you're never gonna get more money because you don't have a system for your money. And the same is for like belief systems and energetic systems. If you don't have room and capacity in your body and in your nervous system where you can hold these $5 or like 5 years and ask for them, even though you feel uncomfortable, you cannot do that with 5,000. And if you can do it with 5, you can do it with 5,000. And then your trust in yourself and in your ability to ask for what you desire and to set boundaries if people ask for money and you don't want to give it to them. If I can say no to you if you ask me for 5 years and I don't want to give it to you, I can do that with 500 and 5,000 and 50,000. It's not about the amount, it's about the habit. It's about the habit of asking for what I want. It's about the habit of setting boundaries if I need to. Yeah.
Oh, this is so good. What I realized right now was like having habits for yourself that like shape your belief system, your nervous system. It's like having a river, and the river can be like really small, like the water only flows there through there like once. Or if you have a river that's like there for hundreds of years, so it will be like really stable, and it will be really difficult to shake that river and to like pour money out of it, money, yeah, water out of it, money out of it, because it's shaped like for a long time by the habit, of money flowing through there. And it's like the same thing, like practicing feeling secure and self and inside of yourself, and practicing your habits and routines for being able to hold more money. And it's the same with having systems and processes in your business to get from, I don't know, 3K to 10K to 100K. You have to have systems, and that's like your system inside of yourself. It's the habits. Yeah.
Oh my God, when you said it, you said such a good thing, and it really clicked because I always used to hear when I like watched a certain like YouTubers or like courses around energetics of money, they always talked about container. And some people have this much of the container for money and they can hold this much, and then or some people have it like this, and I don't know, maybe mine is for right now it's like this, and I have to expand my container. And when you said it and we talked about boundaries, I was like, wow, I think the better you're able to create healthy boundaries, you have a container. Because when you don't have healthy boundaries and you're able to like energetically set them and to communicate, your boundaries are like this. So your money's leaking out like this.
Oh my
Because if
gosh,
you
yes.
ask me for money and I can't say no, then my money is like this. If you ask me if I can do this work for free for you and I can't say no, my energy is leaking like this. And with my energy, I'm creating something and I get money for it. So my energy is like this. And if my energy is like this, then my money is like this. And then there's no. That's why. No, really. It just clicked all the informations because if I am a secure and stable, confident person, my container increases. And I
Oh
think
my God.
also for me, my step now would be to even increase like having uh, a little bit more better boundaries, especially with my time and energy. I think I already increased my competence in that, but I think there's also still a lot of energy leaking because of things like that. And I think this is really common for women. Think of that, like, I don't want to say no because I don't want to hurt them. I just meet up with them even though I don't feel good afterwards, but like they're kind of nice and I don't want to hurt their feelings. Things like that. And I see that I'm leaking energy there, or I feel guilty if I don't help, like, I don't know, moving or whatever, who asks me for something. And I think, yeah, that's something I can even get better in.
And what you said about having boundaries, I think to have boundaries is, for example, if you can't set a boundary, if you needed it, then it's because one part of you didn't want to set the boundary. So it's the same game all over again.
Ooh.
To see those parts of myself that don't want to set the boundary because I want to be liked. Like for example, that the part that wants to be liked for like whatever the price it wants to be liked. Maybe it's a wounded part as well, or whatever this part like is built consists of, or many parts. We have to like look at them to really have to be able, or to really be able to set boundaries. Yeah.
This is good.
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 I like that. I like our talk.
And also security, I realized because I also lived quite a long time in survival mode, I didn't feel safe in my own body. And I wanted money in order to feel safe. And then I worked on feeling safe, and I realized the more safe I feel, the more money I can hold. I mean, who's giving like a lot of money to a person who's super anxious? Because I realized when I am safe and secure, people come to me because they want to feel the same way, and they think that I'm competent enough to help them. But if I'm super anxious, then nobody wants my help, and my help equals getting energy back. You know, nobody wants my anxious energy. And it's such a cool picture. If I have good energy and I'm giving this good energy, I'm gonna get something back, and this back is money, for example. And I have really shitty energy, then nobody wants my shitty energy, and nobody wants to pay me for it. That's
No one
actually a
wants
good
to smell that.
picture.
No.
Nobody wants my shitty energy. But if I have good, this is so good. Wow, this is
and also
so good.
what I realized within the last days is like the most powerful person in the room, and the most magnetic person, and the most charismatic person, and the most secure person is always the most relaxed person. You know? You always want to have this kind of relaxation that they radiate, like they are relaxed and they are secure within themselves, and because of that relaxed in every situation. And I think we want that because we want like safety and security in every moment of our life. So it's actually, and that's where pleasure and rest come in again. The most relaxed version of myself is the most powerful version. You know?
Ooh, this is a good sentence. This should be this is a good quote. The most relaxed version of me is the most powerful. And I, as the person who is so anxious, can 100% say that. Now I feel so much safer in my body, and I am so much more powerful. And the way I speak to people is more powerful. The way I talk to like strangers or in front of like an audience is so much more powerful. That is
but also like realizing or acknowledging the fact that when you like create, or when you like go over your limit, like you go over your comfort zone, you, how do you say it? Like I want to say sprengen. you, you, you just
explode
Yeah.
your comfort zone.
Yes. If you want to explode like your limits, you want to go over them, you want to create a new container, you will feel insecure. So it's like the amount of security you feel now is not enough for the next level. And that's why we're always afraid of the next level, because we know we will feel insecure because we can't feel secure in that level already. It's just impossible. So
oh my God.
Yes, so we have to be willing to feel insecure in this amount of time, in this transition, to hold the pain again, to get to where we want, and then create a new level of safety in this level, and then you can hold that level. And if you cannot create a new level of safety, you will fall back like to your old level.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
This was wait, my brain is like, this makes so much sense, because every time, wow. Okay, I would say something. Your level of financial ability you can hold is the level of security you have.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, the more insecure you feel, the more money you want in order to feel secure. But you realize the more secure you are, the more money you attract.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but now I don't feel like the need to have money in order to feel more secure, because I know that the security comes from in, and then you attract it. Now when I don't need it anymore.
To feel secure, yes. It's like, there's this one sentence in the Bible. It's like the only sentence in the Bible I know, but what it's worth. It's like, the one who has, he will be given, and the one that hasn't, from him will be taken, some kind of that.
Yeah.
So the more you have, the more you'll get, and the less you have, the less you get. It's like law of attraction again, but in this Bible way.
Actually, because I'm right now at a Christian leadership college, and we also have Bible interpretation. I don't know. My teachers would be like, "Yeah, how do you don't know where it's written?" I think it's actually, no, I don't want to say where I think it is, but it's a story. It's like, like someone who has given like 4 people, and they have given 1 talent to the other, 1 person, 2 to the other, 3 to the other, and then 4 to another person. And one person just puts it under the ground, and the other people are working with it. And the one who has 4, he made out of this 4, he invested that, and he worked with the money, and he got 8. And the one who had 1, he put it into the ground. And then when this king got back, and he asked for like his talents, or like his silver coins, whatever you want to like count it, and those who had like only just 1 coin, and he didn't make more out of it, he doesn't get more, because why would I give you my money if you don't do anything with it? Like, there's inflation, you don't like create more value out of it, so you don't get more. And why did he put it into the ground? Because he was scared to lose it. He wasn't the other one who had 4 and made 8 out of it, he wasn't fearful. That's why he was able to create. And when you're in survival mode, as now it's like closing the gap. When you're in survival mode, you're so fearful that you put your talents under the ground, that you put your money under the ground. You don't invest it. You don't invest in yourself. You don't grow your abilities. You don't think you're worthy and you're good enough and you're able to do it. So you put it under the ground. So you're just like in hiding mode. That's like one aspect. You're hiding, fleeing, or fighting. But if you feel safe and if you feel secure, you're able to make out of those 4 silver coins, you make 8. And you make 4. If I give you 4 and you make me 8 of it, a lot of people want to give me the money, because I am someone who grows it. And the same is with my energy. If I have an energy, when people are around me, they feel better afterwards. And I would say about ourselves, like you too, I feel about that if I'm around you. If I'm around you, you add more value to me. So I feel like lifted up when I'm around you. So I like spending time with you. And if I like spending time with you, I would also pay you for abilities, qualities you bring into my life, because your energy is so valuable. Because you make out of me and what I have, you increase my own worth personally as well. And somebody else who, people, you spend time with them, you feel worse afterwards, you have more doubts, you feel more guilty, you're less in your feminine energy, you're less healthy, and all your inner work that could make you millions of dollars, you just have to work again because they put so much trash on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
That was just
such a passionate talk. What I realized when you talked was like we as women, we are multipliers, actually. We are multipliers of energy, we are multipliers of like life, like human life as well, like in our body, in our biology, we are multipliers. So what you said about the energy, we can multiply it. So there are those reels like on Instagram. What you give a woman, she will multiply it. And also if you give her shit, she will multiply it. And if you give her love, she will multiply it. So also what you said about what I find most interesting in this, sometimes there are these Bible stories or sentences, and if you would just look at them in a very logic way, you would say like, oh my gosh, this is so unfair.
Yeah.
But if you know this is basically like the leverage effect,
Yeah.
it's just the same. Yeah.
Yeah. And also I had like once somebody told me, even though if I wouldn't have money, I would still get through or like make my way through the world or something like that. He said it in like a specific area, and I didn't really understand it, but I was like, because he was a man, I always said, because we were in Dubai, and I always said, yeah, why don't you just smile and ask? And then like a month later, I realized he's a man. If he smiles and asks, it doesn't have the same effect if I smile and ask. Because I was like, I was like, but why don't you just ask and smile? And I was like wondering, what is this problem? And whatever I wanted, I just went like, I don't know, is this possible maybe this way or maybe this way? Because I would be like, I don't know. And I just said it. And I was so used to it. I didn't like realize, why is he not like doing the same way? And then I realized, not everybody is me. Not everybody is a woman. Not everybody looks the way I do, speaks the way I do, has my energy. And I was like, I was like, why are you guys not doing this? And then I understood, like, $1,000,000 smile, it's not just a saying, it is real. No, really, your smile makes you money.
I mean, it's also when I think about it, like there are these discussions about who has it like easier to live life, women or men. So in the story about a man can't just smile and ask to get something, he has to work for it. But at the same time, and that's the thing, if we think we don't want to take up too much space, and as a woman I don't want to ask a man like to do something for me, I don't give him the opportunity to show his growth. What do you say?
His strength.
Yes, his strength and what he's capable of. And you're actually, by asking to get something, you are giving something. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I have a really good story, because we did in our university, we had like a dancing class, and I used to I danced like one time with like a guy, and then the next time I danced for like a few minutes with like a woman, and I realized, just being in her presence, how beautiful it is. And I realized that if like just dancing with a woman is such a privilege, because I'm just saying, you have a beautiful face with a beautiful smile with a beautiful energy in front of you. And I was like, yeah, let's go. It's like a pretty view. It's fun. And I was like, this is how it feels to be a man, probably. Yeah. And I was actually really amazed. I was like, wow.
But
I was like, yeah.
but you can just feel it that way because you don't have that sisterhood wound that much. Because if you are like, I think you can have a very good time with a man if the dynamic is good, but you can have an even better time with a woman because there are two multipliers, and if you're both of high energy, it will be like as if you're both on drugs, you know? Like with a man, it usually isn't that way, but with women under with each other, even when there are like a group of women, it will be an explosion, like a bomb, you know?
Oh my God.
When
You said something so good. And I just realized my female friendships got so much better when the more I healed my feminine energy. And when I think about, so when I was like more in my wounded feminine energy, I like to be around guys because they validated me. They showed me like, yeah, you're so like pretty, you're so cool, I don't know. And now I genuinely appreciate spending time with women, like so much. Like I used to spend time before, but I also prefer like the attention of men. And now I feel so good with being with my friends, and I don't feel like something is missing because before I always wanted like, let's do something with the guys as well because it's like fun. But like now I have so much fun with the girls, and I feel so nourished with them, and I feel like they're filling me up when I'm around them. And I actually have, especially when I'm around unhealthy guys, I have the feeling like they're like taking away my energy and taking away my glowing because they give me that trash energy and they take my good energy. And yeah, this is cool. Like seeing this change is when you change your feminine energy.
Yeah, it's actually what happened when I started to like work on my feminine energy, the feminine side of me, is that I realized at first I had to deal with the wound concerning men, but when I started forgiving men and trusting men, it's like if you have a white wall, and this white wall, like our soul that is like pure or something, and you have those like spots on it. And if you clean some of these spots, you see other spots that you didn't see before, you know? And in the beginning, it's just a big mess. So when I cleaned up this mess around men, I started to see my mess around women. So I started to heal that. And then there were like beautiful situations with women where we so much supported each other and lifted each other up. And now when I'm working with a client, I always ask her, how's your relationships to women, your platonic relationships to women, like sisterhood, if you have a sister, or to like female friends, because that actually tells you a lot about how your connection or how your relationship to your own feminine is.
Yeah, that's cool. That is cool.
Oh my gosh.
I knew it, but when we talk about it, I just realize more and more how expensive and valuable our energy is. And I think if you realize it, it's easy to charge money for it. Because I feel, I feel generally like somebody's taking away from me something if I give them all of my energy and I don't get like the same energy back. It's not when I'm around like beautiful feminine women or like friendships where I really fill up with, but I'm like, when especially around like men, for example, when you do the physical work but you also do the energetic work, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm giving double, and what you giving? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, if you want to connect it to money, is what I realized is sometimes when I'm giving things for free, people are not able to like make most of it and to be committed to what they were given.
Yes.
So actually, it's a gift to give someone the opportunity to give you more money when you hold the process and the container of their transformation, because they will be more committed to their own transformation.
Yeah, 100%. there's actually a great YouTuber. She's called The Abundance Factor, and I really like her because she's talking about pricing and the energetic stuff behind it. And if you get it for free, you don't put a lot of energy back into it, because if I spend, I don't know, 1,000 euros on you coaching me for a month, then I put a specific amount of hours or energy in order to even like have this 1,000 euros. So I put energy in it, you put energy into it. So now you put energy into it, I put energy into it. So I will do like my work and my process, because what are you thinking? I want to get the most out of my money. But if you didn't put any money in it, you don't have the desire. And it's a natural human being. It's not, I don't know, sometimes I feel like maybe like resentment around it, but it's not resentment. It's like, if you don't value yourself, other people won't either.
Ooh, and that's an important part as well around money. How do you feel when you spend money? Doesn't matter if you spend money on like pleasure and fun, or on like a coaching or something that's like practical and sensible in that view. How do you feel? Is it like there are men who say spend money with gratitude, and I say spend money with pleasure. So to feel like, oh, it feels so good to be able to like give this money away. It feels like a release. And so some clients around of my mentor, if they are buying a program of her, or one-on-one coaching or anything, they say it feels like a little orgasm to give you the money. And I think that's how it should feel to spend money. Like it was a pleasurable release, and it's pleasure to give and spend money.
Yes. And you always, when I spend money, I receive. Because when I spend money on a smoothie, I receive a smoothie, right? So money isn't valuable in itself. So by spending the money, I got richer.
Ooh, I like that.
If I spend money that you are coaching me, I got richer, because what is valuable? We talked about it. I am the valuable thing, not the money. So I give money away, like a paper, so you help me to feel be like more comfortable in my body, for example. So that's more valuable than the paper I had in my hand.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so, this is so important.
For example, I did an internship for 6 months in a senior care home. So I saw a lot of like people, like old people who were dying or who were just super sick. And I was a student, so I had not like too many financial resources. But I realized, and God really told me, I am so rich. If this person has, I don't know, 200K, and I had, I don't know, like way less, I was more rich. I had more time to live. I had more energetic resources. I felt good. I had so many like abundant like qualities within myself. That was not like, you know what I mean? Because
exactly. And it's also the feeling of, I just have to put a light on. It's really dark here already. Oh, you can see me now. So it's also like if you also count your money in work hours, then of course you feel like everything is expensive, because you pay for everything with your life.
Yeah.
So I have to, this. Yeah. So if you measure money in work hours, you actually pay money with life.
But the fun thing is that life is more valuable than money. But people don't get it. People think, for example, I used to think the same way. I used to think, you know what? I'd rather save like €5 on like premium like delivery because I don't know. I'd rather save €5. But I could like take, I don't know, just walk 30 minutes and then I save, I don't know, the bus ticket. I don't know, whatever, like silly things like that. Or for example, so I bought like new for my smoothie maker. I have like a smoothie maker, and I needed like new bottles because my old one broke. So I bought two new bottles, and then I have the possibility to just buy normal, standard delivery, or premium. And premium was like literally €1 more expensive than not premium. Premium. And it meant 4 days. So if I buy premium today, I get it tomorrow. And if I buy not premium, I get it at the end of the week. And before, I used to say, I just don't get premium. It's just €1, but the decision was not about €1, but it was like premium or not. No, I don't pay more for premium. But then I was thinking, like I bought it like last week. I was thinking about, I drink every day my green smoothie, and my body is like really valuable, and my body is worth to pay €1 more. So I get my smoothie like bottles tomorrow, so I can drink like this week my green smoothie and get my vitamins I desire to get into my body, instead of saving like €1, for example. And then I realized this is the difference between abundance thinking and like scarcity. It's not about €1. It's the fact that you spend more money because you think about how it makes you feel good and how it increases your energy level and your health, for example. And you realize, I am the valuable thing. I am the valuable thing, not the money. The euro is not more valuable than my health. I am the expensive thing. I am the valuable thing.
Yeah.
Money just helps me to make me feel better, to make me healthy, to feel. I pay rent, so I feel safe in a home.
Yeah.
I pay for clothes, so I feel good. It's about me, not about the money. I just use the money. Yeah.
Ooh, that's also like what is the price you're paying? Like before I moved into this apartment, I was living in an apartment that was like really, really cheap, but I was so unhappy there. I couldn't sleep. It was always loud. My nervous system was always on edge. I had to do so much to get like in a quite good state in my energy. It was actually so expensive to live there. Although the money was like cheap, but it was so expensive on all the other levels. So it's like allowing yourself to receive and to be comfortable and to be pleasurable, to like pay for pleasure because you know you'll save on other levels in your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw people who are cheap, and I was like this too. So yeah, and they're cheap. They don't know how expensive they're paying, like how much the cost is of them being cheap. So for example, I told somebody, like, I love to get like smoothies, and especially like orange juice, like fresh pressed, I don't know, somewhere, and I can just buy it. And they were like, yeah, but that's so much more expensive. And it's like literally €5 instead of like, I don't know, €2 doing it at home. How expensive is my time and energy for me to buy the oranges, drive home, walk home, to press them with my own hand, to clean it, to clean the glass. Wow!
You can measure it!
With this amount of energy, I can make €3.
Yeah.
You better guess so.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. And people, they don't know that they're paying with their energy. They're paying with the energy. If you don't pay with your money, you're paying with the energy.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes.
That's really good.
I'm on fire.
But I think that's a good closing sentence actually. If you're not paying with money, you're paying with your energy.
Yes. That's good. We should make some more live streams and like take specific I don't know, topics and just talk about it.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. I had
Yeah.
so much fun.
Yeah, I thought so too.
And this is the difference between working and like working but having fun.
Yeah.
Because when we are doing a live stream like this is super valuable, and a lot of people got a lot of value. And at the end, we have like an audio data and like a video format where we could sell it. We could make a course out of it. We could just do something with it that brings a lot of value to people. And how much fun was it? And how easy was it? And like so valuable. And I just love that you can just be creative and have fun and have a good time and create so much value.
And I also think it feels like just having like girls' time, like a
Yes.
girl talk. If like the two of us on the phone, and we would just others have the possibility to be there with us when we talk, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so cool.
This was so nice. Thank you so much, Naomi, for suggesting it, for having the idea, for like pushing through and making a date.
Yes. Thank you so much that you guys listened and that you were here. And I had so much fun talking about, talking with you about all of these. Money is just such a fun topic. I swear, I'm so passionate about it. I love it. It's so fun. And I'm just so happy that you were here with us. And I'm so thankful, Isabella. And I really love your energy. And I really love your confidence. And I really love your aura, and I'm thankful. Yeah, for the chat.
I can only give it all back.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, wait. Let's. Oh my god. No.
The salad wants to flow and be explosive, you know.
Let's smile, and then we can. I make like a screenshot so we have a good thumbnail.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Bye-bye.
Bye.